swing. Throw it, I say! Throw it!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
We welcome you, wrestling fans, back here to the Nation Network, the Tropicana Casino Resort here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, for more AWA wrestling action here live on the Nation Network. Tonight, the AWA is going to be on display, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see some of the biggest, some of the best, no doubt about that. When we talk about the best, we're talking about championships, and when we talk about championships, we're talking about Larry Zbyszko. He's the current AWA United States champion, and he'll be defending that title tonight against Kurt Hennig, young up-and-comer. We're also going to be seeing the Long Riders in action. And in our main event, you won't want to miss this one. Let me tell you what. It is going to be a tag team match for the ages. Nick Bockwinkel along with Ray the Crippler Stevens. They're going to be going up against the reigning AWA heavyweight champion of the world, Rick Martel, along with Sergeant Slaughter. That and so much more action coming your way right here on this episode of AWA Wrestling on the Nation Network. Stay with us.
Everybody's favorite time.
Wrestling fans, right after this program is done, enter the danger zone. Jump over and check out J-Rock 73. Tell him Vince sent you. right, wrestling fans, we are ready to kick off the action right here as Chick Donovan making his way down towards the ring to kick things off for AWA. What a night of wrestling it's going to be. Coming to you live from Atlantic City, the Tropicana Casino Resort and Hotel. And here comes the opposition. Jesse "The Body" Ventura. Well, one thing we know about Jesse "The Body" Ventura, and it's a man who is definitely spending a lot of time in the gym working on his physique. Says he's the strongest, the most powerful, and just the overall greatest wrestler in the world today. I won't take anything away from his in-ring acumen or his talents, his abilities for certain. But whether or not you're the best or not, you'd have to get in the ring with somebody like Rick Martel to determine that, because until you're the AWA World Heavyweight Champion, you can't really claim to be the best, not in my opinion. Definitely has a very high opinion of himself, does Jesse Ventura. Referee calls for the bell. Action's underway, and here we go. Wasting no time at all. Chick Donovan, the journeyman, gonna have his hands tied up right here, going up against Jesse Ventura. We'll see if he can do it. He goes for the suplex, and Jesse says, I don't think so. Oh, look at this. Body just running down Chick Donovan. Donovan having a little bit of trouble getting up, and Jesse, continues to just pummel away on Chick Donovan, and things not going Chick's way thus far, that's for sure. The size, the strength, and the body is really showing the world what he's made of here tonight. Oh, Chick Donovan comes up with a big forearm, and that puts Jesse down. Ventura perhaps a little bit loopy after that shot. May have baited him in that time, and now there's the Irish whip, sends Chick Donovan to the apron, and now back to the floor he goes, and Jesse just continues. Donovan able to block the attempt, and so does Jesse. Reverses with a nice suplex, and Chick Donovan really hasn't had any answers whatsoever for Jesse "The Body" Ventura thus far. Tied up against the ropes, and now let's see what Jess has in mind here. Gut first suplex across that top rope. Chick Donovan gonna have to come up with some sort of a solution here, because Jesse really doing a number on this man. Has him up from behind. What's he doing here? Backbreaker. And we know Jesse will, given half an opportunity, he'll put you out with a backbreaker. Chick Donovan fighting his way out of that just in the nick of time, and you wonder how much damage may have been done already. Nice move right there, and look at Jesse going straight to the outside, and he'll have nothing to do right now with Chick Donovan. Back into the ring. And down he goes again. And look at Jesse, just continues. He knows he's got him down. He can probably put him away anytime he wants. And look at Chick Donovan, not ready to go out yet, and comes up with a series of right hands to the head of the body. Has him up. Gut buster, and Jesse Ventura now on the receiving end. Chick Donovan trying to get some strength here from this crowd. Clothesline, and the body goes all the way to the floor. Well, I tell you what, I've seen Chick Donovan in the ring before. This is the best he's ever looked. And perhaps Jesse just took things a little too lightly coming into this match. Hard to say. Up in the air, going for the slam, and Donovan, oh good Lord, dropped on the back of his head. That could do some lasting damage. Jesse throws him back in the ring to make sure that he doesn't get counted out. There's a boot to the head. The end may be near right now for Chick Donovan. Jesse again has him up in that backbreaker. We've seen him use a number of different backbreakers over the years. This is not the one that he's likely to put him away with. Donovan battling it out to the hard right hands to the back of the head. And now Jesse's up again. And continues to find a way to reverse. Every time Donovan thinks he's got what he needs. Jesse, oh, look at this. Jesse setting him up. And the body with a big pile driver. Oh, this might be it. He's got that move he calls the body vice. Oh, and Chick Donovan was ready. And now Jesse. Once again, the body there and able to return the favor. Donovan caught with a huge hip toss takeover. And now Jesse Ventura sets him up. Oh, not again. Another pile driver. That's gotta be it. Donovan, wow, he is bleeding. Chick Donovan is bleeding, and it's not a good situation at all. As he slowly gets back up and down. This could be the body vice. It is. He's got him up there, and that's going to be all she wrote, I am sure, for Chick Donovan. He can fight as long as he wants, but I think he is just pulling off the inevitable. Jesse, the body, has got him locked deep in that hold. And finally, Chick Donovan's got to tap out. It's all over. Big victory for Jesse the Body Ventura here at AWA to kick things off this week on the Nation Network. Take a look back at some of this. Look at that pile driver. But as I mentioned earlier, Donovan looking better than we'd ever seen him before. But there's the body vice. He hung in there a lot longer than I would have expected. I'll be honest with you. Most people wouldn't have made it that long. Look at him wrenching away, and Donovan finally has had enough. Big win for the body here tonight. And now hit him. Jesse not done yet. Jesse Ventura sending him into the corner, into the turnbuckle, follows him in. And Donovan collapsing here in the middle of the ring. Another pile driver. Somebody's got to come out and stop this. Oh, fans, we don't need to keep watching this. This is terrible. Another body vice. We'll be back with more AWA in just a moment.
It's time to grab your popcorn and your soda. Get your favorite candy. And get ready because we are going to the movies. We're going to be watching and reviewing some of the most iconic movies featuring superstars of the world of professional wrestling. Will it be thumbs up or thumbs down? We'll give you our thoughts, you give us yours. Come check us out as we review some of the greatest titles in its genre. Make sure you check out the Nation Network as we take you to the movies.
How does it make you feel sitting here knowing that you're a what if? I feel like I know Brian Pillman Jr. pretty well. Like,
Yeah.
we go way back, right?
Yeah, he was a good kid.
I don't feel like I know Lexus King at all. Macy, this is the most unique path I think that someone's taken after leaving WWE, because for most people, it's like immediately onto the indies.
Like I say, the difference between wrestling and pro sports is it doesn't matter about how talented you are.
What was that final episode of ECW like?
I didn't think it was going to be over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
If you don't wrestle again, you're going to go down as one of the biggest what ifs in wrestling history. Because you've got people like John Cena and Triple H and Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels saying you're the next great thing.
You know, I did WWE for 7 years, and it was never my passion. I never, you know, that was never a secret.
It matters about whoever's writing the script, how they perceive you.
But I wouldn't sound a what if. I'm a what can and what will be. My story's not over.
Also, you know, and I wasn't drinking the Kool-Aid going. I believed in the product, and I believed in Paul, and I believed in everybody in the locker room.
Yeah.
So if that's drinking the Kool-Aid, then I was.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and ready for more action here. Tag team division, as we take a look at Wild Bill and Scott Hogg Irwin. They are the Long Riders. Bill Irwin has spent quite a bit of time in the Texas area. Now entering the AWA, along with his brother, part of what has been nothing short of an amazing tag team effort. This should be a very interesting matchup between these two teams as we see the Mulkeys already in the ring. And early on, it looks like Bill Mulkey getting the upper hand on Scott Hogg Irwin. Oh, that might have been a mistake, though. Look at it. Mulkey with a hip toss. Can you believe this? We've seen a little bit of surprise warfare here early on tonight. First, Chick Donovan almost pulling off a bit of an upset on Jesse the Body Ventura. Right now, Bill Mulkey having a career night at the expense of Scott Hogg Irwin. Doesn't seem to matter what he does. Irwin on the receiving end. Could it be that Mulkey Media is indeed running wild here in the AWA? Nice roll through right there, and now Bill Mulkey continues. Oh, there's a shoulder tackle and a big one at that, and now Irwin doesn't seem to be too happy about things. Has him up in the air. Oh, and he just threw him clear overhead, almost into his own tag team partner's brother Randy. There's a tag made double team coming up now by the Long Riders. You take a look at the footwear that these two gentlemen, and I use that term loosely, are wearing right now. A lot of controversy around there, and they use those boots to their advantage. As Wild Bill Irwin in there now. Takes Randy off the apron and now turns his attention back to the legal man, Bill Mulkey, and swing and a miss right there. And Mulkey able to get that belly-to-belly suplex. Randy back up on the apron now. And he's going to look to make the tag. And indeed he does. Oh, Randy Mulkey just got run into. There's the Irish whip to the ropes. Back out front, the two collide. Bill Irwin now setting up. Takes him all the way up and down with a big suplex. When it comes to the tag team division here, it is really heating up in the AWA. We've seen the High Flyers. We've seen the Road Warriors. Add the Long Riders now to that long list. Here comes a double team. What do they got in mind here? Oh, my goodness. Scott Hogg Irwin now has Randy up. Randy slides out the back door. Going for the neck breaker here. Let's see if he can finish it off. He does. Goes for the cover. Irwin kicks out on a count of 1. Mulkey's putting up a fight here. Probably a little bit more than I think anybody anticipated. Least of all, the Long Riders. And drops him head first on the mat. Randy Mulkey now taking over. Oh, there's that shoulder tackle. And once again, Scott Hogg Irwin able to put him down. Brings him up and spikes him straight into the mat, spine first. Irwin. Oh, he drops him head first right in the middle of the ring. He could probably end the match right now if he wanted to. Here's that boot we talked about. The controversial footwear. Here's a tag made to his brother, and let's see what they're going to do here. Going for that double team. Has him up in here. Spike pile driver. That's got to be all she wrote. Randy Mulkey doesn't know what day it is after that pile driver. Has him up. Oh, there's the boot. Bill Mulkey just caught him. And now goes down for the cover. We're going to see if he's able to kick out. He's not. That boot just knocked him out cold. What a shot by Bill Irwin. And now you can understand why there's so much controversy going around the footwear. Here's that spike pile driver. That was enough right there to put him away. Watch this. We'll get another angle perhaps. There it is. Right in the face. Well, the AWA Board of Directors is going to have to take a look at this and see what maybe has to take place, because I don't know if there's any place in professional wrestling for footwear like that. Fans will be back with plenty more action, including the United States Heavyweight Champion Larry Zbyszko defending that title right here in just a moment. Actually watched a little bit of AEW, not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Brock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and finally we had a wrestling match. Finally we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man, I would say, like, for me, like, the best ones, I would say, are like the ones where they try to get a certain, like, time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen, everybody. All right, fans, we are ready for the title match here tonight. The AWA American Champion, Larry Zbyszko to put that title up against young upcoming talent Curt Hennig. Tell you what, we've seen this young man in action, and he's been very, very entertaining, to say the least. The son of Larry the Axe Hennig. Bit of a high flyer himself, technically sound individual. And I'll tell you, Curt Hennig has a very bright future here at the AWA. Not sure if he's quite ready to defeat somebody like Larry Zbyszko this early on in his career, but Zbyszko decided he was going to give him a title shot. Perhaps Larry's mistake is that he may be thinking this is going to be an easy win for him, trying to pad the win-loss record of the AWA Championship, and I think he may be in for a rude awakening if that's where his logic is coming from. And get ready, because here he comes, the reigning AWA United States Champion, Larry Zbyszko. Not a lot of support here from the fans for Larry Zbyszko. He's got a number of different ways he'll beat somebody. Of course, trained by the living legend himself, Bruno Sammartino. It'll be very interesting to see if Mr. Zbyszko can live up to his prediction on this match. Says he's going to send Curt Hennig to Larryland. As we take a look at that championship title belt that these two men will be competing for here tonight. Coming to you here live from the boardwalk, Atlantic City, New Jersey. The luxurious Tropicana Casino Resort. The champion holding that championship title. The question is, will he still be holding it when the match is over? You know, I haven't checked with the bookkeepers here to see what the odds are, but I've got to believe Larry Zbyszko is the favorite going into this match. All right, we're moments away from kicking this one off in what promises to be a memorable match here tonight. It's not every day that we get to have a championship title decided right here on television, but it's going to happen tonight. There's the bell. Action starts, and these two men meet each other in the middle of the ring. Russian leg sweep, nicely done by Curt Hennig, I beg your pardon, to kick things off. Cross knee backbreaker, and down goes Larry Zbyszko, and early on, this youngster doesn't show any trepidation whatsoever. And now Zbyszko comes up with a suplex on the youngster. The experience factor is going to be clearly in the corner of the champion. Not only does he have the in-ring experience, but then again, he was, for a good period of his early career, spending a lot of time being trained and developed, having his craft honed by the living legend Bruno Sammartino. Curt Hennig, of course, growing up in the business with a father like Larry the Axe Hennig, has his own background in professional wrestling prior to arrival, but I just think the amount of knowledge that Larry Zbyszko has is going to be too much for him to overcome here tonight. But at the same time, I think Curt Hennig is going to take a lot out of this match, win, lose, or draw. As Larry Zbyszko now goes to the eyes with the eye rake, and now Hennig in trouble, driven into that top turnbuckle. Well, Zbyszko perhaps feeling a little overconfident at the moment. We'll see. Goes for the suplex. Nice block right there by Hennig. Turns around with one of his own, and Larry Zbyszko feeling that. Grabbing the lower back in pain. Here's the Irish whip to the ropes. Back out front he comes. The two collide. Once again, Irish whip sends him into the turnbuckle, and now Zbyszko with the challenger. Going to put him up on that top turnbuckle. Let's see what he's got in mind. Ties him up in the tree of woe. And Zbyszko planting a shot right to the midsection. Nice amateur style move right there by Hennig. Fireman carry taking the champion over. Oh, and a devastating chop right across the chest. Drops the champion in the middle of the ring. Curt Hennig soaking up the cheers from the fans here momentarily. And that might be something he's going to need to rely on quite a bit to try and get past the overwhelming ability of Larry Zbyszko in this one. Part of a championship run could be determined not only by the matches that you don't take, but by the matches that you do take. And I believe, oh, nice move right there by Hennig. Zbyszko was going to get him up. I'm not sure what he had in mind, but Hennig turned the momentum around and drove Larry face first into the mat. I was about to say that I think Larry chose this match very carefully, thinking that he'd have a pretty much guaranteed victory, but after the last couple of moments here, he may be rethinking that strategy now. This youngster coming up with some offense that I don't think anybody expected. Nice move right there by Larry Zbyszko, coming up with a drop toe hold. Shoots a half Nelson to roll him over and gets a 1 count. Zbyszko one more time takes him up and down with that belly-to-back suplex. Oh, look at this. Hennig. Tremendous way to get out of that armbar. An inverted atomic knee drop, and the champion goes down. And maybe it'll be Larry Zbyszko going to Larry land. Here's the cover, hooks the leg, gets a 1 count. Oh, the crowd is on their feet right now. They sense it. History may be made right here on the Nation Network. He's got him in that capture flex. And again, goes for the cover. Larry very close to the ropes. Let's see if he's able to get out of it. He does. Just barely got that shoulder up. We almost had a brand new champion. Curt Hennig now going all the way up to the top. We've seen him use the top ropes in the past. There's an elbow drop. He has a missile drop kick that he's put a lot of matches away with now. And the champion is in a lot of trouble. Atlantic City is rocking. Snaps the neck. Goes for the cover in the middle of the ring. Zbyszko's got nowhere to turn. There's 2. He kicked out the back door. Just barely got that shoulder up. Hennig waiting on Larry Zbyszko to get back up. The champion is in trouble. There's the axe attack. Taking a page out of the book of his father. Will that be enough? It's a huge upset if he does it. And he does. We've got a new AWA American Heavyweight Champion, Curt Hennig, victorious. I said it at the start of the match. I think Larry Zbyszko thought he was picking an easy win. Champions are required to defend the title a minimum of once every 30 days, and I think Larry Zbyszko underestimated the abilities of Curt Hennig. Boy, the crowd here is on its feet as we've got a new AWA America's Champion. What an unbelievable win for Curt Hennig. And you've got to know that Larry the Axe Hennig is somewhere watching this with a big smile on his face. Stick around, our main event coming up next.
Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the Nation Network. While you're at it, why don't you check out our sister channel, All Night Gaming. A little bit of everything from old school to new school. Once the final bell rings, jump over to All Night Gaming and join us where the fun never ends. Wrestling fans, if you're enjoying the content here on the Nation Network, we encourage you to check out Blaze Radio. Join Blaze for his unique take on E-Fed Wrestling.
Hey, Walker. There's a shotgun stunner, but long through the table at the same time.
From 2K to AEW Fight Forever, as well as talk show podcasts and NFL Red Zone coverage.
I love that I can listen to football commentary where the important conversations happen, like the rack on the ref.
As soon as we're finished here, jump over to Blaze Radio and tell him Vince sent you.
All right, time for our main event of the evening, tag team action. Bobby the Brain Heenan, along with members of the Heenan family, Nick Bockwinkel and Ray the Crippler Stevens. This promises to be one for the ages, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about titles, it's about pride. Rick Martel has had a series of matches with both of these men, and it's always ended up with somebody getting involved. Well, tonight it'll be a tag team match, and he found himself one heck of a tag team partner to make sure things remain evened up. However, you still have that outside presence of Bobby the Brain Heenan. And here we take a look at the AWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Rick Martel. The world champion making his way towards the ring. When he went to Sergeant Slaughter to say, listen, I need a tag team partner, Slaughter said, who do you need a partner to go up against? And as soon as he told him who it was, there was no hesitation on the part of Sarge. And here we go, this crowd on its feet. The AWA's answer to G.I. Joe, Sergeant Slaughter. proudly carries Old Glory to the ring as he does each and every time. This is a man who has been involved in some of the most iconic feuds throughout the history of professional wrestling. When you're going to get into a match against members of the Heenan family and you're going to pick a tag team partner, you want someone who's battle-tested, and nobody perhaps more so than Sergeant Slaughter. Bockwinkel going to start things off against the AWA champion. Bell sounds, action's underway, and we take right to, look at this, Martel goes after Bockwinkel, who almost seemed like he was going to tag out to Ray Stevens. Perhaps deciding he didn't want to get into a one-on-one with Martel this early in the match. Nick Bockwinkel, of course, the former AWA World Heavyweight Champion, wants to get that title back around his waist, knows he's going to eventually have to go through Rick Martel if he's going to do it. Nice atomic knee drop, and that one did a number. And now from that middle rope, you see Ray Stevens trying to come over there, but Martel able to avoid that and lands a really nice elbow drop on Nick Bockwinkel in the process. Another nice move right there by the champion. Smart move by Martel to pull Bockwinkel away from Ray Stevens. And for that matter, Bobby the Brain Heenan as well. Went for the scoop slam, not going to put that one down. And now nice block right there by the champion, knee to the midsection, and Bockwinkel once again on the receiving end. Now, look at it. Heenan just threw a steel chair into the ring. Referee doesn't see it yet. I'm not even sure any of the competitors see it yet. Oh, to the eyes. And now the distracted referee doesn't see the low blow on Sergeant Slaughter. Both members of the Heenan family in the ring momentarily. Slaughter now fighting back. This is going to be some sort of a combat situation. Belly to belly suplex, nicely done by Sarge. And now he's got some words for Heenan. Ray the Crippler Stevens taking advantage of the distracted Sergeant Slaughter. Look at him pulling back on the chin. Stevens with that knee planted in the small of the back. Wouldn't be the first time Sergeant Slaughter had to deal with somebody with a maneuver similar to that. Crippler Ray Stevens possesses one of the most devastating finishers in pro wrestling. We saw it earlier on tonight, but nobody does it quite the same as the Crippler. That is that pile driver. Off the rope, Slaughter now drops the elbow, near 300 pounds, right down on the back of the head and neck of Ray Stevens. And now the Crippler on the receiving end of a beatdown at the hands of Sarge. Martel loves what he's seeing right now, and he knows he made the right choice in tag team partner. Here's the Irish whip reversed. The two collide. Slaughter sends him into the corner again, and now this time could be a double team. Indeed it will be, as Martel joins Sarge for the battle. Double team, back elbows, and down goes Ray Stevens. Trying to make the tag, and he does. Desperation tag to Nick Bockwinkel. Shoulder block on the champion, and Bockwinkel comes up with a drop kick. And one more shoulder tackle, and Martel goes down. Stevens, meantime, is out on the floor. No help to Bockwinkel whatsoever right now. This is the one-on-one match that we were supposed to have in the past, and every time it breaks down, where Ray Stevens or Bobby Heenan or sometimes both get involved in the outcome. And Bockwinkel targeting the leg of Rick Martel. Irish whip into the turnbuckle he goes. Oh, nice move by Martel right there. Got that knee up. Crossbody, hooks the leg. Will that be enough? There's one. There's two. The shoulders down and just barely out the back door. Nick Bockwinkel escapes. Oh, Bobby Heenan looking a little bit concerned outside the ring, as he should be. It's a little bit different when the numbers are evened up, isn't it? Martel has Bockwinkel up, but he couldn't hang on to him. Bockwinkel escapes with a series of elbows, sending Martel into the corner, follows him up with a clothesline. And now it's Rick Martel on the receiving end of some punishment here. Boot to the midsection. Down he goes, and now what's happening here? Bockwinkel using that bottom rope to put some extra torque, and now goes for the cover. Martel kicks out. You see Sergeant Slaughter on the apron trying to get this crowd behind he and Rick Martel. A bit of a United Nations team going on here, as Martel, of course, from Canada, joining forces with the U.S. and Slaughter. There's a tag made. And now Sergeant Slaughter went for the big boot on Stevens. Wasn't able to connect. And now the Crippler catches Sarge with a big hip toss and then goes right over to the corner. Thought he might be making a tag. Stevens wants Slaughter back on his feet. Oh, there's that axe handle right to the head. The Crippler, Ray Stevens, has Sergeant Slaughter up and drops him with a suplex. Nicely done. What Stevens got in mind now, he's waiting, biding his time. Hammering away on Sergeant Slaughter. Oh, look at this. Go right to the eyes and rake of the eyes. Sergeant Slaughter blind, but comes up from behind and caught him. Looked like he was getting ready for the Cobra clutch. Stevens managed to get out of that. Back Sarge into the ropes now. Let's see what's going to happen here. Oh, he just snapped his neck on the top rope. Innovative move right there by the Crippler. But now Slaughter has evened things up, and Stevens seems like he might be unconscious. Oh, this thing is really breaking down. Slaughter with a clothesline. And again, Bobby the Brain Heenan distracting Sergeant Slaughter, and that is the M.O. He couldn't hold it. Stevens couldn't hold him. Slaughter covers, hooks the leg, gets two, no. Stevens able to come out the back door on that one. A close call indeed, ladies and gentlemen. And now Sergeant Slaughter bouncing the head of Ray Stevens off the canvas. Stevens nicely done to get out of trouble there. Slaughter picks him up. Shin breaker right in the middle of the ring, and now Stevens is in a whole lot of pain after a move like that. You can imagine what that'll do to your knee and your shin. And Slaughter has a Cobra clutch cinched in. Will that be enough? The referee right there to see if Stevens wants to give it up. Slaughter has it cinched deep, and he is putting the torque on it. Stevens did not submit, but he is down and he might be out. That took a lot out of Sergeant Slaughter as well. And now Slaughter goes for the cover. Does Stevens have what it takes to kick out? No, it's over. The Cobra clutch was enough to get it done anyway. As we take a look back, ladies and gentlemen, some great matchup going on here. Martel with that cross body block almost got the win right there on Nick Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel, you see him right there using that bottom rope for added leverage. Those ropes came into play quite a bit here tonight in this matchup. That was the beginning of the end right there. Stevens tried to lift Slaughter up, ended up turning back on him with a crossbody, and that drove a lot of the life out of Ray the Crippler Stevens. But there are your winners, Rick Martel and Sergeant Slaughter, here on AWA. Want to thank you all for joining us. We'll see you again next time for more AWA wrestling action here on the Nation Network.